right now. Boom. What is up? What is up? Welcome everyone to the Friday Civitai guest creator stream. My name is Tyler, and man, today I got a good one for you guys. I know I tell you guys I got a good one every week, but I would not say it if it was not true. Today, we have the honor of being joined by my good friend Purz, aka at Purz Beats over on Twitter. If you are active on AI Twitter whatsoever, you know this man because he is super active on there. And best believe is the inspiration for a lot of people that are doing AI animation in Comfy UI and Animate Diff right now. So I'm really excited for whatever we got going on today. Purz, before we dive into this, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people who don't know you a little bit about yourself, and then we can get this show on the road. But first, wait 1 second. Give me a mic check 1 2 1 2, and let's just make sure Twitter can hear you nice and clear.
A microphone check, microphone checker. How do we
Twitter? How we doing? Can you guys hear Purz? Are you good? Give me a thumbs up. Twitch chat.
Words. I am speaking words into a microphone.
Purz is a little soft. Okay, I will bring my volume down a little. I will turn Purz up. Let's
check. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check. Hello. Ooh, hello.
Oh, wait. I got it. Sorry guys. I know exactly what the issue is. My bad. Put my headphones on.
Wouldn't be one of these streams without issues. No worries. This is how mine always go.
There we go. I think that should be much better, right, guys? Yeah. Twitch, thumbs up. Good.
Hello, words.
Yep.
Words.
They said perfect. So yeah, let's get this show on the road. Purz, tell us who you are.
Thanks. Thank you. It's really cool to be here. Thanks for having me on, Tyler. I really appreciate it. This is going to be super fun. I'm Purz. I am a researcher and artist and drummer and musician and producer and multimedia video person, motion designer, 3D, all the things to make things look cool. I teach people how to do it after I learn it. So sometimes that's a day after, sometimes that's an hour after, sometimes that's 3 weeks after. Just ingest things and then spit out tutorials, basically. I've been building a really cool community. Everyone's really awesome, and we're all just learning together. So I'm really excited to show you guys how to do some cool stuff with like masking and animation today. And looking forward to it. That's me.
Awesome. Well, I know you probably got something planned out. I know we were teasing a bunch of stuff on Twitter and on Instagram for the past 2 days. So why don't you give them just a kind of high level of what we're going to be learning today, and then we can get right into building.
Sure. One of the things about AI is like if you have a mastery of composition, you're pretty much ahead of the pack with everyone else who doesn't. So today we're going to cover a lot of compositing stuff, which means masks, layers, and backgrounds. So what are ways to take things and split them into 3 or 4 different elements and then do different things to those elements while maintaining cohesiveness throughout the piece? Perfect example of this is the stuff that I made for the stream, which is the Civitai logo, getting all messed up. I think I have it on. It was on Instagram, right? You got it too there. Yeah,
it was on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. Boom, Instagram.
There it is. Yeah. So this is basically what we're gonna do today. You see how the parts of the logo have been cut out and there's different contexts inside those parts. That's what we're going to cover today. We're going to go in and we're going to take the Civitai logo. We're going to break it into different masks, and then we're going to we're going to use Comfy to put different things inside of each part of the mask using different colors. It's very similar to some other stuff I've been working on with animated masks, but in this case we're using static masks. So the image remains the same, but the animation inside of it can move. Whereas with other stuff, I have masks that are like expanding or contracting or going in different places and controlling the composition of the animation in general, But in this case, we're actually locking in a static piece, and then we're going to do something cool with it. So yeah,
Boom.
yeah,
Let's dive in. Let's start building.
yeah. So I am gonna assume people have a relative understanding of plugins, so I won't go full beginner here. If you want to go full beginner, I have videos for that. Start from fresh, but I'm gonna assume about an intermediate level of knowledge here for things we can get through it, because it'll take a little while to build this thing out. But basically, we're gonna start with a checkpoint loader, and we're gonna load. Let's load realistic vision. And we're going to load a LoRa loader, and we're just going to build out this entire workflow from scratch so you guys can see sort of, the idea behind it. LCM. So we need our SD15 LCM LoRa, and we're passing that, our checkpoint through that. You don't have to use this if you're using an LCM LoRa, but for this, we're going to use realistic vision, which is a non-LCM LoRa. So we need to turn it into an LCM LoRa.
Realistic vision works so good for all the animate diff stuff, man.
Yeah, it's I've found really good. Also, that Realism by Stable Yogi is a great LCM model as well. Yeah, there's some great stuff out there if you go digging around. So after the load LoRa, we need. I'm just gonna make a K sampler and just sort of make the shell, and then we're gonna add the stuff in between. So we're gonna go straight out to the K sampler. We're gonna add our clip, which is just our clip text and code for our prompts. So let's add both of those, plug them in, and that's our positive and our negative prompt here. Positive, negative. All right. And those, of course, go into positive and negative. We need an empty latent image. We're going to do this at 576. Actually, no, this is a square, so we'll do 512 by 512. And we're going to set the batch size to 32. So that's 32 frames. So we'll do 16 frames twice. That way we'll be able to jump over a context window and see what we're doing. All right.
Awesome. We're putting links to your YouTube in the chats right now so people know where to find the total beginner tutorials.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's the episodes 58 and 59, I think. Just the ones before we did me and Spence went on. They are sort of beginner guide to images and then beginner guide to animation. So it's sort of step 1, step 2. But you will be fully fledged comfy animator after step 2. Or your money back. Just tell me where to send these $0.
Hello, everybody. We are back.
Okay, so I just added a VAE decoder on the end of the case.
Wait.
To explore creatively.
Sorry. Your YouTube started auto playing. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. Double Purzed.
Double Purz. I was like, wait, his mouth isn't moving here.
All right, so VAE decoder out of the K sampler into a video combine. This is how we turn our latent noise into an image or video in this case. And we got to set our LCM settings, which are 11 steps, CFG of 1 to 2. There's a big debate about what 1 or 2 is better. I get better colors with 2, but 1 is faster. So do what you want. LCM, and the scheduler is SGM uniform. So these are the settings for an LCM K sampler. Like if you're using an LCM model, you can adjust these a bit, but I mean, these are the best results I've had so far. All right, so now we just have our basic thing, and it's going to generate 32 frames right now, so I'm not going to run it, but this would basically just generate images. This is a complete default comfy setup, basically, for SD15. But we're going to go further. We're going to add animate diff, and we're going to add IP adapters. So let's add animate diff here. So we're going to pull the model out of the K sampler because the animate diff goes on our model chain. So we're going to drag out from the thing and let go, and then click search and type animate diff. And for this, I'm going to use the legacy loader because I don't need the Gen 2 stuff. There's a Generation 2 version of animate diff that works with V3, and it's more complicated and does really cool stuff, but you can't use it with animate LCM. So yeah, do what you want. I'm going to be using animate LCM today because it's faster. So these are the settings you want. you want to use the LCM greater than square root linear beta schedule, animate LCM text to video model, and motion scale slightly over 1 is what I use. This is just sort of how much motion you get in general. 1 being the flat baseline amount of motion. The more you add, the more motion you get. The less you add, the less it moves. But I find even lower than 0.9, it doesn't move at all. So context options, we need looped uniform context options. And that's 16.14. That's fine. We're going to do closed loop and use that equal length. So hopefully this will create a loop for us. We don't need a motion LoRa, but I'm going to use one anyway. And I'm going to use the, let's use Shatter. Shout out to Jeru.
Shout out to Pixel Pusher in the chat. We always use his Shatter motion LoRa.
And sample settings. We're going to need that too, because we want to set that to noise type empty. Okay, so this is a general animate diff stack here. I'm just going to move them side by side so it'll make a little bit more sense. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this is all you really need, and then you just pass animate diff through this. Try to get it all on screen here a little easier. There we go.
Amazing.
So yeah, basically this will make anything animate once it's plugged through. So you can just set your batch count to as much VRAM as you have, basically, and you're off to the races. I'm going to turn this back into a stack for my mental health. Okay. So here's another thing you can do is color your nodes based on sort of what they do. I usually make animate diff light blue so that it's that, and then make the IP adapter stuff cyan and so on and so forth. So I don't know, just helps your brain. You can just see at a glance by the color what it is and what it does. I'm just going to color everything real quick.
You guys are getting Animate Diff 101 today.
All right, we're going to add IP adapters. Yeah, this is it. This is actually a full Animate Diff setup. You could go text to video now. You just type in stuff and it'll make looping animations. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the video combined settings. 24 frames per second, format MP4. The CRF I usually do around 13 or 14. What that is that's a quality, like how good your video looks versus how big it is. So when you start going down means bigger file, higher quality. Up means smaller file, lower quality. So it starts around 19, which is about like medium quality. So you get a nice trade-off for size and speed, size and quality. But I like to go 12 or 13. It makes bigger video files, but they're a lot cleaner. And if you're obsessed with quality and you want to keep everything sort of lossless, save as ProRes and learn to live in the ProRes world. But I will warn you that it's painful to use in Windows normally because you can't preview stuff and you can't see, thumbnails and things like that. So that's if you want like lossless, like full quality videos, save them in ProRes. But you can always duplicate these and save them multiple formats. That's another thing is like Comfy branches everywhere. So if you want to save the ProRes and the MP4, that's all you do. You just run a second one and then you just name them appropriately. There's also a really great node for that. These file name prefix nodes by Mikey nodes. You can turn the file name prefix input into an input and use this here. And this is great because this will just automatically make a date directory for each thing that you're doing. And then you can set a custom folder and a custom name for each thing as you go down the list. So you just plug one of these into each one of your video combines and you can have your naming structure convention thing set up so your output folder isn't a hot mess like mine.
Someone in Twitch said if I start making lossless video, I won't have any space for thousands of LoRa's and checkpoint.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's totally right. All right. So yeah, let's get back. Tangent achieved. All right, let's move this stuff over because we're gonna add an IP adapter stack now.
Oh wait, and real quick in the Discord chat, Cheshire said, "How about higher frame rates? Like if you wanted 60, what I would recommend, and Purz, you can chime in on this as well, is I would recommend doing your frame rate out of your video combine at either 24 or 30, and then running it through the film VFI node to interpolate it and double the frames and make it smoother and stretch it out that way. Or afterwards, then you can even run it through something else like flow frames, which is totally free to stretch out even more. Cause you typically don't want to like render it out in animate diff at a true 60 frames.
Yeah, it'll move more than twice as fast as it would at 24 frames if you do that. Like, that's one of the reasons that Topaz and flow frames are great, because you can render at 15 frames per second in Comfy, and then when you interpolate that, your footage is actually more almost like real-time speed. I find with the motion models, if you render at 24 like I do, everything feels a little sped up. So when you run that through film, it's actually going to like slow it down, so it all evens out because you're adding more frames in between the frames. So yeah, exactly what Tyler said. Exactly.
Great question though.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get IP adapters going. Recently IP adapters changed, so if you're used to doing this a certain way, it might be different now. We're going to use the IP adapter unified loader, and our model goes through this. But it doesn't go through here yet because we need to feed this into an IP adapter node. So I need an IP adapter advanced node. Model, IP adapter go in through here. Then it comes out of here and in through there. So you think of it like this. We're loading in the IP adapter loader, and then we're going through IP adapter and into the model after animate diff. The reason we do this is that if I want to add multiple IP adapters, I can feed the model chain through them, but I can use the same loader for multiple IP adapters. And that way we don't have to load the IP adapter node or the IP adapter model multiple times. We can just keep feeding them through these so that each IP adapter thing has the same model. We're just going to start with one. And I'm just going to show how IP adapter works. And then I'll show you masking and how we can achieve what we're trying to achieve today. So we're just going to start with base settings. I'm going to leave it on plus. And I'm going to add an image scale to total pixels at about 0.4. And what this is going to do is going to resize our input image to something that IP adapter can look at betterly. And load image. Do I have anything that isn't totally insane? Let's try a circuit board. Okay. So because our IP adapter here is at full, we actually don't even really need a prompt. So I'm going to add as NSFW nude here on the negative, and I'm just going to add 4K to the prompt. These.
We definitely don't want the NSFW circuit board.
No, we don't. We definitely don't. And you are green.
A shout out to Make It Rad, who's in the Discord chat right now. He's actually going to be a guest on the stream in a couple weeks. So looking forward to that. Happy to have him join us.
He's a great guest. My stream fell apart with him on it, and we still made it happen. Okay, 4K. I think everything's set up. Let's run it and see if we get any errors. If I wired this all up first try, I'll get myself a cookie later. Holy cow. We got all the way to the K sampler. Okay, let's clean some of this up. We're going to add let's add a group for that. Let's add a group for this. Let's add a group for this. You can actually go here, group, and group. There we go. All right.
The shattering circuit board.
Yeah, it should shatter a little. Oh, you know what? It should shatter a lot because I have the motion LoRa cranked up way too high. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Right on. Okay, so yeah, that's a simple single IP adapter image, easy peasy. You can do this to basically do, image to video. If you want to make animations and stuff, you can just start with this. This is a good, fun workflow, but we're gonna expand it now because it's never enough. Output, title, diffusion. This one is IP adapters. This one is animate diff. And this one is settings checkpoint. All right. Oh, the stuff I do for you guys. Purple. Blue. All right, cool. So yeah, dead simple, right? It's only like 20 nodes. Let's move these out and expand IP adapter. So one of the cool things about IP adapter is you'll notice there is a node or there's an input here called attention mask. So we can actually feed it different masks to tell it where to look at stuff. The reason that's important is because if you look at the Civitai logo, I can break this logo up into 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections. So I can use 4 different IP adapters for each region. But this requires a little bit of pre-processing. So let's think about how we would do that. There's a node in Comfy called mask from RGB CMY BW. This node, you can feed it a video, and then it will go in and look for each color in that video and make a mask from just that color. It also works with images, and that's what we're going to use today. So if I take this Civitai logo and I use my little magic wand here, we're going to make the very first C. We're going to make it red. So edit, fill, foreground. Got a red C. Going to grab this next bit here. We're going to make this green. I'm going to grab this last bit up to the top here. Just make sure you shift select all the little areas and you got your whole thing. And we're going to make you blue.
And by the way, guys, Purz is using Photopea, which is like a free Adobe Photoshop that works in your browser. So no Adobe subscription, no problem.
Yeah. We kind of rock the open source tools around here. Photopea. All right. And then our background, I'm just going to make black because we can also just look at black. Fill black. There we go. You don't have to worry about these lines because this is an IP adapter model. It only is looking for the colors. So don't worry about these sketchy little white things. It'll be fine. IP adapters doesn't care. So export it as a PNG and you will have it in your downloads folder. Now, the other thing I need to make, I'm going to do it after. I'm going to do it after. We don't need to do that right now. Okay. So load image, LAD image, load image. And downloads. There we go. Okay. Image goes into the mask. Actually, first things first, we are going to set a master resolution for this project. So that every time we need a width and height, we're going to pull it from that master thing so that it's just easier to remember, variable. So we're
Hey,
going to use
Purz,
primitive.
Sorry, can you do me a favor real quick? Can you
Yeah.
actually drop that colored Civitai logo into the Discord chat for the guys so they can
Absolutely not.
just kind of go to town on that?
No
Awesome.
way. All right, so here is the so here I'm using the Chris Tools primitive integer nodes, and these are just for defining integers. So for this case, I'm just using them to define resolution width and resolution height. That way I can do this in one, that way I can do this in one place and then forget about it. Res height. Okay, so 512 by 512. Now I can convert these inputs here to 512 by 512. And anytime I want to change the resolution that we're working at, this is my least favorite comfy update, by the way. They added 2 different contexts here for converting. It used to just put them all in the same window and then they, whatever. Width, height. All right. So width, plug in there. But yeah, so we're basically we're replacing width and height with these variables here, so that if I want to change it to 576 by 320 or higher, I just do it in one place and then everything else reacts. The reason I did that is because I need to do this in 2 places and I don't want to change it in 2 places every time. We're going to use an upscale image node and we're going to plug it into the mask thing, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Width and height. Width and height. All right. Let's make these green because they're settings. And upscaling the image. We're going to crop center. Even though it'll be square, it'll be fine. Yeah, so now this is going to spit out different masks. So we need more IP adapter stacks to get different masks in there. Let's move these over. We're going to set up 4 channels. And then IP adapter works the same way as it goes through model to model, model, and out. So you just chain the model through all the IP adapters. And you plug the IP adapter loader into all of them. And now that we have this plugged into here and it's separating our masks, we have red, green, blue, and black. Those are the ones we want into each attention mask. So let's drag this up here. And we'll go red to the first one, green to the second one, blue to the third one, and black to the fourth one. So now we know inner, middle, outer, background, inner, middle, outer, background. See, it's not complicated. It's just a lot of nodes.
Did your guys' minds melt already?
So let's try 4 different sort of concepts. And see what we get. These aren't really different enough. I'm just going to try a bunch of random stuff for the first one. That should be enough. So now I'll tell you another really cool trick while this is running, but if you just use things that are the same colors as the original logo, you get some pretty amazing stuff. Like if I look at the original Civit logo, if you were to use white for the, if you use these colors for your input images, yeah, get it? You can make a logo that looks like their logo, but has active stuff inside of it. All right, so let's try this. This should be total nonsense. My favorite. So it's 32 frames at 512 by 512. It's going to resize this mask to the size of this. Going to feed all the masks into the representative places, and then into the case sampler and through. One more thing I'm going to add is they recently added these image negative things. So I'm going to use a IP adapter noise node. I'm going to plug that into all the negatives. And if you set it to like Gaussian blur noise of like 0.4, what it's going to do is it's going to feed a whole bunch of noise into the negative image of the IP adapters and hopefully give you a cleaner result from your input images. It doesn't always work, but it's worth a crack. So let's try it. I think this is all set and it should work. Famous last words.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Holy cow. So this is going to be very loose and it's not going to have the hard lines like the ones I did. It's just going to be a bunch of separated contexts. And why do you think that is? It's because we didn't. I know you know, Tyler. How would I get lines in this?
Wait, zoom in a little bit more for me and ask
See
the
what
question
I mean?
one more
It's
time.
so all the contexts are not divided. They're sort of just stuck together because I'm only using IP adapters masks. So in order to get hard division lines between the sections here, we need to stack control net into the mix.
Yes.
So we need to take that mask, we need to process it, look at the lines in it, look at the depth of it, and that's going to help us get over the gap of what we're having here, because this is cool, but it's not the Civit logo, right? It's just sort of it's just sort of a bunch of stuff in a blob. Now they're separated in the right areas, but they're not separated. So let's add control net. Apply control net advanced. We need advanced for animate TIFF. Now, IP adapter does not live on the model chain. It lives on the conditioning chain. So we actually need our positive and negative from the prompt. So grab those, and that's how you feed IP adapter through. So it doesn't necessarily live here. It actually kind of lives here. If you were to think of the flow of things, IP adapter and IP adapters is sort of at the same time because they're on two different chains. But just for sanity's sake, I just put it after so that I can just look at things linearly. But the point is, this is happening while this is happening versus everything else is happening in order. Hopefully that helps visualize the process a bit, because I know this can be confusing. It's like, why are some nodes in front of others, and why do you plug some stuff into other stuff but it won't plug into other stuff? It'll make sense when you start plugging the wrong stuff into the wrong stuff, basically. So yeah, control net, we're going to load the let's do line art control net. And I'm going to grab let's use the all-in-one preprocessor, AIO aux preprocessor, and I'm gonna try the Scribble Xdog first. And we're gonna grab that original. Actually, this should work. Let's try the mask because it's the right size. And we're gonna do that same thing we did here, where we upscale it with the image width and height. Now, here's a fun tip. I have upscale image here. Stuff's already plugged into it, right? I want to copy this node and I want to keep this stuff that's plugged into it. So you control C to copy, but you control shift V to paste. Okay. Now when I paste it, it actually maintains all of its connections. So if you have to duplicate a bunch of nodes, but you don't want to plug them all back in after, you can do that. See, I'm going to unplug the image because I don't need the image, but that width and height I do need. So I'm going to plug this image into it, and I'm going to pass that into the thing, and then we're going to pass the preprocessor into here. And then after all this stuff, I'm going to add a image, preview image, and we're going to see what it makes. So what we're doing is we're taking this, we're pre-processing it into line art, and then we're going to have a look at what it does. And when it's done, it's going to use that as the control net source to dream over this. So let's just try straight line art first. This should be probably a little overzealous, but we'll see what it does. It did nothing. So this is actually a fun bug. This is a fun bug in Comfy. Oh no, that should have worked. Oh, anybody see what I didn't do?
You didn't plug in the. There you go. That'll do it.
That'll do it every time. Things don't work when they're not plugged in. Okay,
Hey man,
so the thing
someone,
did nothing.
someone just popped into Twitch and said, "Hey, Purz, love your work and tutorials."
Oh, nice, thank you. So this did nothing. So let's try the original. I have the original logo here somewhere. There it is. And then I cancel this because it's just basically making the same thing. Okay, we got the C, but nothing else. So I'm going to actually use a mask that I made already, which is this one. So I'll show you how to make this mask later and why I made this mask, but this is a great mask to use for the line art because those are the exact division lines we want in the piece. So let's try it.
Sexy lines.
Yeah, they look good. A little fuzzy, but that's okay.
Purz, is there,
Oh,
is
look at
there
that.
a specific reason why you don't use Kenny, for example?
You can. I recommend you experiment with all kinds of different ones.
Okay.
I like these fuzzy lines. I like this irregularity. And what it
Okay.
does is it makes the edges sort of like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a blur. It's like a noise blur.
Okay.
And that's with the Xdog Scribble preprocessor. There's but yeah, try everything. It all depends on what you want. You could also use the what's it called? QR code monster. You can use that. Yeah, that's it. Digital media agency was typing it as I was blanking. You could use depth. We can use anything. I'm gonna add depth also after this, and I'll show you how to stack control nets. It's really easy. You just look at that. We have lines. It's flat, but we have lines. So it's flat because we don't have any depth. So let's process the depth. We're gonna fake 3Dify it here. I need all these? Yeah, basically. All right. Depth. Let's start with Midas. Yep, and then so this goes through the conditioning goes through the control net. So you just copy and paste these stacks basically, and then you can see there just goes through them. 1, 2, out. So I'm going to turn off the line art so we can see exactly what the depth is doing. So let's run it and see what the depth map gives us. What did I not do? I didn't control shift paste when I made this node setup. So I'm going to have to plug the width and height back in. There are also get set nodes if you want to get really crazy with this stuff, but I personally find them a little too confusing. Well, that is technically a depth map, but I think it will return garbage. But you know what? Let's find out. It's a nice thing about LCM. It doesn't take very long to do these runs, so you actually know what you're getting as opposed to just trying to guess. So if you've ever done a lot of V3 runs or longer runs, it requires a significant amount of patience. Or, hobbies outside your computer.
What are those?
What is this grass you speak of?
Hey, Purz, on just to double check real quick. On
Mm.
your end on the Discord streaming, are you on 1080 at 30 FPS?
I should be. I'm doing my camera, right? So I don't think I can set that. I could also share, if it's easier, I could share my screen.
Yeah, let's actually move to that and see if we can avoid some of the little bit rate loss so that way people can read. There we go. I think that's going to be much clearer for you guys over
Cool.
on Twitch. So we'll do it. We'll do it this way. Sorry about that, guys. Oh wait. Boom. Wait, Purz. I
My
think there you go.
there we go. Yeah, my OBS is wigging out 1 second ago. I think I can close OBS now, right?
Yeah. Damn, sorry about that, guys.
Technical difficulty.
We'll do a full run through of the whole thing front to back, and overview it now that it's back on now that the quality is way better. So sorry about that. No one said anything earlier, so I didn't even realize it.
No worries. All right, cool. Let's run through the whole patch. Actually, that makes sense anyway. Little refresher. So let me clean this up, and then we'll have a good look at it here. You guys will be yellow. All right. Let's add a group. Okay. We are animating logos. This is the Civitai logo. We've broken it up into several pieces. Red, green, blue, and black. We are looking at the image at the red, green, blue, and black, and we are feeding them into 4 separate IP adapters here. And then we are dreaming those segments into each section. And right now we're working on getting it to look good with the lines. It uses animate diff, IP adapters, and control net. It's actually not too crazy, and it's something that you could definitely do yourself by just watching this and rebuilding it. So yeah, we're defining our resolution. We're using empty latent image to determine batch size. Because it's a static animation, we can decide how long it is. And then positive negative prompt, LCM LoRa after a regular checkpoint, ADIF, normal ADIF settings for a loop. And then, we're just using IP adapter advanced nodes because they have attention mask inputs. And then control net, we're using line art and depth right now, but that might change. We might try some QR code stuff to see what works. And pre-processing these logos into depth and line art maps, and then trying to mash everything into the animation with mixed success so far. But I feel like we can get there. All right. We were trying to make the depth map look good, and I am trying to remember how I did that. Let's try this one and see if it makes a better depth map.
Purz, real quick, tell the people how often you get the perfect result the first time you press the button.
Oh, every time. Yeah, no whammies over here. Just everything's perfect always. Never made a mistake in my life. And I think my streams will attest to that. I dare you to find a single mistake on any of my streams. No, I mean, right? Like this is a very iterative process. If you're not willing to work with the AI, then do something else. Basically,
I feel like that's almost one of the biggest strengths of this stuff is like how quickly we're able to actually get to the failing so that we can fix the failing over and over. Whereas like in a lot of traditional processes, it takes so much longer to fail first and then do it again.
I totally agree. Failing fast is incredibly important, especially when you get better at this stuff, because getting to the wrong result gets you to the right result quicker. So if you get to the wrong result right away, then you can see what's wrong,
Dude,
Well,
that
this
looks
is
so
getting
cool.
better. Yeah, so let's add the line art now to try to reinforce the lines a bit, and we'll leave them both at about 0.5. So let's mix them. So now we've got the depth. It understands sort of the spacing of it, and now we're going to try and use the lines to reinforce the edges. And hopefully, between these two, if we find the right right levels, it'll be great.
It's already looking much.
Much less like crap.
Well, we have a C again.
Yeah.
But I do like
This is-
if you when you zoom out of the one that's in there right now, you can see the C form like in the shape of the waterfall. You can see like
Yeah.
the QR code definitely did the thing.
This one looks like it has better lines.
By the way, Purz, several people on Discord asked, will you share the workflow?
Unfortunately, I don't share workflows anymore.
Okay.
But you are more than welcome to rebuild it.
Okay. Well then, have fun with the VOD.
Hey man, going through the process of plugging stuff in is super important for you guys to actually get better and increase your knowledge of doing this stuff so that hopefully you can start to build and iterate on the workflows yourselves and make something even
Yeah.
cooler than Purz or myself was able to put together in the first place. It's just kind of like, yeah, man, and it'll be that much more fulfilling too when you go through that process and you'll start to understand all this stuff more, which is even more important in the long run than just like making the cool thing.
Yeah, fully agree.
This looks nice. Has some kind of 90s compact disc
Yeah.
optic.
So I'm noticing it's not actually really following the IP adapter. Like it's a little fuzzy. So what I've just increased the resolution to 896 by 896, and we're gonna try that. And if it looks bad still, I'm gonna add deep shrink. But deep shrink and control net hate each other. So sometimes deep shrink makes it look better, sometimes it doesn't. So if you aren't using control net, use deep shrink if you're going above 512 by 512. If you are using control net, it will be mixed. I can try depth anything. Normally, depth anything works much better on people, but I will try it. I've had mixed results with depth anything on abstract stuff, but maybe these hard lines will just work. But yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, for those of you that just joined, the red, blue, and green mask is so that these different IP adapters are identifying the different parts of the mask. So each one is applied to a different color, and we're just kind of like smashing them all together. That's the purpose of the different colors. And yeah, it's wild stuff. You guys are crazy in the chat.
Wow.
I have no knowledge of anything. I don't know what they're talking about.
No. Just random noise.
Dude, yeah, man, and I really recommend that if like some of this stuff, even with Purz building it along for you guys, is a little like just like you feel overwhelmed. He posted 2 videos on his YouTube last week going through like basic, comfy workflow building that progressively gets a little bit more advanced, but it's like he made it for beginners and it's super helpful. So I definitely recommend you guys go check out his YouTube and watch those videos to just like get your foundational comfy knowledge that you might be lacking. I know for a while, even still now, I'm missing some like key foundational pieces that I'm trying to clean up on so I can start to iterate on my workflows even more. But Purz is the man that's putting all that stuff out there for you guys to learn.
But yeah, if you guys have questions, if you're building these workflows and things don't make sense, come by my Discord and just yell in the help channel. If I'm not around, someone else who's already built this stuff will be, and they can point you in the right direction. I'm building a pretty nice little community there.
Guys, take a look at this thing that Pixel Pusher just threw together
Hey!
using what Purz just helped us build. So like if you just follow along, you too could be making very textural exclamation point hazard signs.
Wow.
Of course, it has to have the disgusting noodle texture. It has to. Oh, you want the black and white mask? Absolutely. Yeah. Where is it? Downloads. Don't mind all the insanity in my folder.
The amount of nudes in this guy's generation folder is outrageous.
I don't know if that's true.
By nudes, I mean noodles.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of noodles. I think that's all the masks. I use black on mine, so if you're plugging your stuff and following along into black and you're using this mask here that has white, use white instead, obviously. So this is looking better, but not perfect. But yeah, this is the idea. We're trying to massage out the settings here to make it work. Now, I think what'll happen or what'll help here is if I actually stop the control nets about halfway through. So right now, the control nets are locked on throughout the entire course of the generation. That's what start percent and end percent mean. So if I actually set end percent to 0.5 for both of these, what it's going to do is it's going to use control net for the first half of the dream, and then it's going to stop using control net and just let it dream wildly. So the control net will take over and sort of define the composition, and then the dream will take over and sort of fill in the areas. Because right now it's trying so hard to stick into the lines. I think that it's actually not benefiting us. Yeah, see, this is looking better, but still a little funky and weird. So let's I'm also gonna switch the oh, that's the other problem. I forgot to set the motion LoRa to a reasonable value. That could be causing half of our problems here, honestly. Let's try spreading out. All right.
That shatter motion LoRa runs really strong too.
Yeah. Okay, but first let's turn the end percent down to 5.5. So yeah, like I said, this is gonna make control net stop control netting halfway through the run. And then I added these little mask previews so you can see what each of these context is affecting. So hopefully that makes sense. The C, the inside, the middle, out, and the background. Actually, that is a good point. I'm going to lower the res and reduce the frames a bit because this does take a little while, too long to iterate. And you can go nuts with the control net. This is a VRAM dependent thing. Right now, this workflow is using 13.2 gigs of VRAM, but I'm also streaming on Discord. So chances are you could do this with 12 gigs of VRAM pretty easily. Yeah, so if you're like 4070, 12 gig, or 3060, you should still be able to do this workflow. the things to remove to get rid of VRAM would be like get rid of one of these control net stacks, go lower res. You know, you got to get it under your VRAM requirements or it'll CUDA out on you. Okay, this looks worse. I wonder why. Let's try adding deep shrink. I know I just said you shouldn't, but you know, why would you listen to me? And I will have to increase it. So yeah, when you use deep shrink with control net, your this is gonna this is gonna happen a lot. You see these errors here? Warning: control cannot be applied. Torch size. Blah 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 blah. These are warnings. They're not errors. You know, don't worry about it. I mean, it's complaining about some very real stuff, but it doesn't
Someone
actually affect the outcome.
asked what that window just was, since it looked different than everyone else's command prompt.
Oh, this is Pinocchio. So I use Pinocchio for my AI tools. It's like an AI browser. I don't know what to call it. It's basically takes care of all of your Python environments for you. So because I'm always testing the latest stuff, I like to just install them and delete them. Without affecting my local environment every time something new comes out that's not in Comfy yet. So yeah. It's cool. It does a lot of really neat stuff too. For like if you have networked machines, you can set up like your AI stuff on your big honking computer, and then on your phone and stuff, you can connect to it through the Pinocchio browser and stuff. It's all on the website and Discord there. It's really cool. The other thing I like is if you use Automatic 1111, Comfy, and like Invoke, Pinocchio will store all of your models in the same place. So you don't have like 3 copies of every model you need to use. Yeah, you can do it manually too. That's right. If you're feeling extra nerdy.
Extra nerdy.
Extra nerdy. This is looking way better.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, there's a massive difference. And so the only difference between these two is that you plugged in the deep shrink and then upped your resolution.
Yeah. Deep shrink doesn't work at 512 or below. But if you're changing your resolution to anything non-standard width or height or above 512 by 512, pop a deep shrink on the, you know what? This isn't plugged in. Oh, I must have just unplugged it.
I swear you plugged it in.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what is going on? Yeah, there we go. Hello. All right, so as you can see, this is very powerful, very cool. If you used, like I said, if you used input images that matched the colors of the original logo, you could basically redo the logo with your favorite colors, or with the logo colors with different textures. Like I think I made a fuzzy one for a Civet where it's all the Civet colors, but it's like a fur texture and it's like blowing in the wind and stuff. So yeah, the sky's the limit. Go nuts. Let's try QR code.
I do think
I
my
haven't
favorite
actually
one
tried.
of all the ones you made where it was the fuzzy.
Yeah, we'll try that one again, actually.
No, guys, not furries, fuzzies.
Fuzzy.
But we don't discriminate. We love
sure.
furries here too.
For sure. Yeah. I think this would be a good one for the QR code. We don't need to pre-process this because it's basically already a QR code. We do need to send it to the upscaler, though. There we go. And we're going to change this to QR code monster. All these models are in the install models thing. If you need these models, they're just in here. You just type what you need. If it's not, just Google it. They're all pretty they're all pretty available. So let's turn the other two off and see what just QR code does. I'm curious. And also, I think backing off the control net at half really helped with the with it not sort of being too grippy and taking over everything. It's yeah. Good
I really like how you can see the cloud in that inner layer on the bottom overlapping the sea, so it even like breaks the line.
Yeah.
Like that I really like.
That's the nice thing about backing the control net off, is it gives it that space to like, oh, maybe these lines don't have to be like exactly, you know. Like I was getting some really cool stuff with the clouds on some of the other ones where they're really like, they're making the edges of stuff look like cloudy, not like hard lines. Oh, you know what? I forgot to plug in the width and height on the upscale node again. Getting real good at that. Okay. Pew. So one other thing I wanted to talk about while this is running is so we're making a video, but every comfy video, every animation you see is always every pixel on the screen moving at once, right? What if we wanted to cut some black out of this so that there's, you know, different versions? We would mask that. We can actually do all of that in Comfy as we generate separate results. So let's try it. Grab another video combine, and I'm going to use a node called apply. Image composition, image composite. Oh, what is it? I'll find it.
I love the search function
Yeah.
and the naming conventions.
It would take me so much longer to find it from the menu, though. That's the funny part. Image composite masked? No, it's like image combine. No. So frustrating when I can't remember the specific. Basically, it's like this node, but it doesn't have the XY. Well, maybe this will work. Let's try it. Okay. So what this does is it has a source and a destination and a mask. So I can use a mask to put the source on the destination. Okay. What does that mean? Load image. Let's load one of these masks. Okay. This is going to, if I plug this, well, I have to convert this into a mask actually. Image to mask. Okay. So this is now going to put whatever's in the white on top of whatever as the source into whatever's on the black background, the destination, the black background. So I want the destination to be an image blank. And we're going to, yes, convert width and height. Plug in the width and height from the front. Width and height. Okay. And then going to make it black. So this node generates one frame, but we actually need to generate as many frames as we, whoa. Okay. So QR code is getting real artsy with it.
That is a Civitai waterfall if I've ever seen one.
So let's add in the other ones, and I'll do another run here while we wait. Okay. So now we've added line art and depth back in. So we'll see what that does while we work on this mask thing here. That's chaos. I love it. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so we're trying to mask the white over top of the black. The black in this case is black, but it's only one frame, so we need more frames. What do? We need a repeat image batch. Okay. Then our amount is going to be an input. There's two ways to get your amount. You can either define it at the front, like we're doing with this, but I'm using batch size and I don't want to deal with all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count the frames coming out of the VAE decoder with a get image count. And that's going to give me an integer value for the amount of frames that we've just spit out. What do I plug that into? The amount of the image repeat batch. So now we're repeating black frames for the length of the video so that there's enough frames to put our source, which is this, on top of it using the mask. And then we spit this out into the video combine. So you know what? Maybe we'll do it like that. It's easier to read. Okay, and I'll just leave this zoomed in here so anyone who wants to screenshot this setup or whatever. But yeah, the idea here being I want to take what's white and put this stuff into the white on black on the black, right? So we're chopping out sort of the thing. I'm going to talk about grow mask with blur for a second, but we'll see why we're going to use that after this is done. This is looking like it's a lot more defined here.
Purz, have you seen this sidebar thing that Joviex shared in the Discord chat? The
Yeah, it's
comfy
great.
you that looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, the end bar is like Blender style, the Nuke style. Super handy. If I had more screen real estate, I think I would use it, but I have a 1080p monitor and I'm already running out of running out of space. This Q thing already annoys me. Might be time to get a real monitor. There we go. That's actually really cool. Good separation. Good context. So yeah. Line art at was you can even back the strength off two of these as well. They don't necessarily have to be full strength. So we can maybe set them all to like 0.7. Back it off a bit. So now when I run this one again, actually let's use some new IP adapter images. Let's try that furry fuzzy thing we were talking about. So we want like a fuzzy texture. And I want like white. We probably shouldn't use Adobe stock footage, just, you know, as a rule. Oh, let's go with CC0. Let's get some stuff off. What, Pexels maybe? I think Pexels has some. Yeah. Fuzzy. Oh, two Z's and fuzzy. Fuzzy. Okay, this might work for the white part. Grab that. What is that? WebP? Yeah, that'll be fine. We need sort of like oh, it's gonna be a tough one. Can't search by color. No fuzzy.
Maybe Unsplash will be better.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what? It's okay. Blue fuzzy. No. Let's go turquoise fuzzy texture. I have no idea where this came from. Nobody saw that. All right. So let's do Civit logo is yeah, let's bring that up. Actually, I'm going to pull this into the thing, into a load image thing. This is a cool way to throw a reference image into your project. So I just want to be able to see this to see the colors, right? You just put this over here. It doesn't need to plug in anything. So we want the white fuzzy here. We want we want that here, maybe. And then we want a deeper blue here. Deep blue fuzzy texture. That should work. Did I do that right? No. You and then whoop, come on back. Yeah. And then white. The background is what? Black? Yeah. So let's go with onyx texture. Let's try that. Looks cool. All right. So that should fuzzy. Run. So this should make a fuzzy logo in the Civic colors, hopefully.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Blue fuzzy sounds like something you troll people with.
Like one of those internet memes back in the day.
Hey
That
man,
shall remain unmentioned.
have you seen the blue fuzzy?
Mm-hmm. Well, that looks like the logo already, which is great at 2 steps.
I hope the fuzz is blowing.
It might. I can't remember what motion lure I used. I might. I think I used a motion lure of people, so. But yeah, that's basically the whole workflow. You could rebuild this pretty easily by just, going back through the stream and doing your thing.
Yeah, man. So guys, I know the bitrate was a little harsh in the beginning. I'll call it out when I upload the YouTube video on Monday. In the very beginning, I'll let everyone know to jump to X time slot if they want to just jump to the part where the resolution kicked up. But I'm really looking forward to what you guys create with this.
Yeah, and even conceptually, like how to do it now. You can build this. You don't need to follow me step by step. Like it's a simple IP adapter run with stacked IP adapter advanced nodes where you're plugging different masks in. It's control net right out to the K sampler and done. The only other hard part is the next part I'm going to show you, which is masking your outputs. But yeah, if you watch my beginner things, you like by the end of the second video, you'll be able to rebuild this pretty easily. And also, don't stop here. It doesn't have to be IP adapter advanced nodes. You can use weighted batch interpolation with this. You can stick things on over the course of time. Like you can have this be your canvas to put stuff on top of. So don't stop at just static images. You can make these animated. If you have an animated logo, it's the exact same process. You just make sure your stuff is the right length, right? You get your batch size from the video you're using as a mask. But yeah, here I'm going to zoom in on each part so you guys can hopefully get it. So let me rearrange this so it's easier to see. Okay.
Cats,
so here are
Cats,
the
I love that
settings.
you've been taking screenshots of every part of the workflow.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Okay, so those are the settings. And here's the animate diff stack. Let's there's the animate diff settings. I've left the noodles all loose, not hard angles, so that you can see where everything's connected. You don't have to leave your noodles like this. I just do it when I'm building so that I can see where everything goes. And then, yeah, IP adapters. So yeah, it's just 4 IP adapter advanced nodes. The IP adapter noise is just adding the image negative for each of them to move it away from gross noise. We're using plus on the IP adapter advanced. You can play with these weight types and the strengths of all the IP adapters as well. These also go above 1, so play with that. And then it's loading each of these mask portions from here using this mask from RGB node. Red, green, blue, black into each mask. Then we preview the masks underneath so you can see what it's doing. Here's our control net setup. It's just 3 control nets, line art, depth, and QR code. These are the settings here, 70%, 70%, 70%. Both the first 2 are ending at 0.5. The other one's running the whole time. Play with these. It all runs into a deep shrink node and then into the K sampler. Decode it out into a output. Oh, there we go.
So fuzzy.
Yeah. Looking good. All right. So let's mask this. Oh, it already did. Oh. I know what I did. 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 I didn't plug the repeat image batch into the image composite. All right. So let's move that. And damn, it was on randomize. I'm gonna have to run another one. Damn. Okay, that's cool. So you composite into that. So there. Hopefully, let's zoom in on that. So we're loading our mask. We're converting the mask into a. We're loading the mask and converting it from an image to a mask. We're plugging the mask into the image composite mask. We're getting the frame count from the final animation, plugging that into repeat image batch. And we're using an image blank to make a black background. If you wanted a white background, you would change these to 255, 255, 255, and then it'll do this. The reason it's static is because I only sent it 1 frame. I need to send it 24 frames. That's what we're doing now with this render. And yes, what you can do to avoid what just happened is instead of using your seed here, right click here, convert input, the seed input to convert seed to an input. Then go back to the front and add a seed everywhere node. There's a bunch of different seed nodes. You don't have to use this one. I just like this one because it's small. Then you set your feed here, your seed, and then plug it into your K sampler. And this works really good when you're upscaling as well, because if I have an upscaling run after, I can bypass it and I can use the same seed. And then if this one's great, then we just run it, unbypass it, run it again. And because it's the same seed, it knows, oh, I already did this. I'm just going to go to the next step. So basically, while we were working there, if my seed was fixed before, I wouldn't have had to generate this again. I could have just hit go and it would have gone from this point again, because this is the only thing that changed. So it's a really good way to control where Comfy's at in its stages if you want to stop stuff before it ends every time. Because you don't want to run your upscaler every single time, because then you might upscale a crappy run, right? But yeah,
Man.
should do it.
Guys, if you have any questions for Purz about anything going on here, I would definitely recommend asking them now. We actually got one on Twitch. Oh, no, that's more so for me. Yeah, this is going to be uploaded first thing Monday morning and available on the Civitai YouTube channel. So you guys will be able to go back and rewatch this and build along with Purz until you get this right. And then you guys can make all the cool stuff. And when you post it, If you guys share anything you make on Twitter, make sure you tag both at Purz Beats and at Civitai. Sorry, at Hello Civitai.
Okay, but it's if we are able to recreate the workflow, it's okay to upload it to Civitai.
I mean, it's okay, but it's you know.
It's a
So the issue is it's not with sharing it with the community. The issue is there are certain bad actors in the space that will then take and monetize that workflow. So it's in everyone's best interest to learn how to do it themselves and not maybe share it with the people that will immediately turn around and weaponize it. So I would prefer that you didn't, but I can't stop you. So do your thing.
Yeah, I won't do it. I just wanted to know if you.
The information is free. You may do what you wish with it.
Information is free. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I think that especially if the tutorials and the how-to stuff is out there for us to go ahead and just kind of like put in the little bit of extra time, build ourselves, understand it, that there doesn't always have to be a turnkey solution given to everyone, because everyone is capable of doing this part as well. And this also will go a long way in helping the post process after people actually download and start using the workflow of like troubleshooting, because then since they built it, there'll probably be a greater chance that they can troubleshoot it themselves without purely relying on the single person who put the whole thing together. Because then instead of us putting out like the workflow, the backside of it that you guys don't see is then we have this entire army of people that, because they didn't plug anything in or put it together, they expect the one person to also be the troubleshooting support team for them 24/7 when they loaded the wrong model in the node.
It pivots everyone's comfy learning experience to be the problem of the person who released the workflow, because and I'm not saying this about most of the people here, everyone here, whatever, you guys are obviously here to learn, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a specific section of people that will just take things and basically like make you support them the entire time. So it's like now it's my job to get you through your first days of comfy, whereas I have tutorials for that. If you spend the time, you can just learn for free. So go for it, just learn. I also think you'll find that you may be able to get some work doing this logo stuff before it blows up. So, might be cool to have the thing.
Just do it, guys. We believe in you.
Go make some money. So right now I'm just using a couple different masks here too. Oh, that's okay. I'm just using a couple different masks here to show how you can cut out different sections. But yeah, like you notice how all the black area is black, and then we've got the stuff around here. So, if this is too busy, you can cut out certain sections by adding different masks. Add group.
At the end of the day, guys, I want to see you all become comfy UI masters.
Damn right. There we go. So that'll give you a couple options now. When you go to do your thing, and then you can again just do all the different things to do different stuff. You can add a grow mask with blur to these masks to get the edges a little cleaner and stuff. I mean, these are tight cut edges. They look pretty good. But if you want a more of a flowy cut, you can do that too. Yeah. That's the whole workflow.
Dude, shout out to all you guys that are saying that you've already put all the nodes together and that you've built the whole thing out already. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I like
Damn
to
right.
see.
Yeah, it's great because now you can take this and run with it. You can try different things, try weighted batches, try weighted IP adapters, try different control nets, try animated masks, try comping dancers out and putting them in. Try all kinds of stuff.
Someone
This
asked in
is-
Discord, just want to confirm this: separating the initial run and upscaling doesn't put them on different VRAM runs, right?
What does that mean?
If you want to read it, it's in the Discord chat. If you want to
Just want to
pop that
confirm that
open.
separating the initial run and upscaling doesn't put them on different VRAM runs. Do you mean like the high-res fix script, maybe? Because high-res fix script is a little different. That's with the efficiency nodes. It runs kind of no matter what, but you can bypass it on your first run. As long as your seed is the same and then you unbypass it, it should do the high-res fix the second time around. Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot to try depth anything. I'm curious.
Okay, Purz, for the people, before we run this one, can we swap out the fur for some withering people bodies?
Oh, sure.
I want these guys to see all of the glory that can really come of this.
But beware of the nipples.
Yeah, I may not be able to control nips.
Of course, we all know SD likes nipples.
We established that every stream.
Yeah.
Praise. What else?
It loves them so much, it finds them everywhere.
Stop and it's. All right, let's try you and
Dude, these pictures are so awesome.
Yeah. Throw some Black Friday.
Okay, that should be pretty
Wow.
gross. Let's hit it.
What's the last thing?
It's like the original image was a bunch of painted bodies, like dancers,
okay.
lying in a pile, and then I ran it through Stable Diffusion and made a batch of new images that are just nonsense.
Ooh.
Textural nonsense. Yeah, so we'll see what we get. This should have a bunch of writhing bodies all trapped in the Civitai logo.
And also, you're not using a positive prompt here, right? You just have a few things in the negative prompt, but you're not even.
That's right. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. Actually, you can take any of these images, run them into a Moon Dream node, and then you can say, describe this image, and then you can take this string. That's a concatenate string. Maybe I don't have it installed. There it is, string concatenate. So I can take this string, make it be a 4K comma. And what that'll do is if I feed this string into the input, boop, what Moondream will do is it'll look at the first image. You'll say, describe this image. And then your prompt will be 4K, comma, the description that Moondream gives. So you can give yourself a prompt without having to prompt by having the AI look at the image and prompt for you. So that's definitely something to consider if you want to start backing these weights off. The prompt will start to matter. So if your weights are like 0.5, your prompt is going to matter quite a bit, and the prompt can actually help sort of tie the room together over the course of the animation. So if you find your stuff is just completely disjointed from the IP adapters, back them off a bit on the weights and then do some prompting, or do the Moondream thing here basically to auto prompt for you. Takes a little longer because it's got to load the Moondream model in between runs, but it's a great way to lazy prompt.
By the way, when you use negative prompting. At what CFG are you running?
So at one that doesn't do anything, I'm running 2 just to keep the nudes off the stream today. Because what happens is if you run at CFG 1, it doesn't even look at the negative prompt.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance you will create nudes at below 2.
So that's just for today. Usually you run at 1?
Well, I run at 1 sometimes. I run at 2 sometimes. I think 2. I find 2 has a little better colors and composition. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. 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 This is what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Civitai we all know and love.
Yeah, that's our community.
That's literally the community all smashed into the logo.
Just rubbing on each other. Lovely. Crazy.
Oh, that's also really weird. What is the guy on the right doing there in the middle?
He's just vibing.
Yeah. That's what she said.
These guys seem bummed though. They're stuck in the sea.
Yeah, man. All these different spaces and they got stuck in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, see,
So yeah,
there's great potential.
Sky's the limit here. Yeah, sky's the limit. Do whatever you want. Yeah. Oh, look, Depth Anything just made a cube. Let's try. So Midas, maybe Laris? I'd like to find the right depth model, honestly. We want something that gives us a little separation on the cubes, right? Like,
Yep.
See, this one's really smooth, which would be great for an animation, but for a static image, we just need really good separation. This one. Oh. Maybe I'm crashing. Oh, I think I'm back.
Oh.
It downloaded a model.
I know that before I was using Depth Anything, I was using the Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe's good.
Most of the time.
I think I'm gonna kill this. It seems to be having an issue.
Kill it with fire? No. These guys must live.
Can't kill them.
Okay, we're back. And we're back. Let's try Zoe. Ooh.
That looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think that'll be a decent depth map for this. Nice separation between the parts. We'll do one more nightmare. Nightmare.
It's what they're all actually here for.
Yeah.
Yep. The nightmare fuel.
So Twitch, in the Twitch chat right now, I am going to link you guys once again to Purz's YouTube channel, where you can find the beginner tutorials he made recently, so you can really get your comfy UI and animate diff skills up. And then in the pin over on Twitch, go ahead and follow Purz on Twitter if you want to follow along with his crazy experiments, because this man trains and posts the most outrageous motion LoRa experiments that you have ever seen. So you definitely want to follow him on Twitter, but also go check him out on YouTube, because he streams every Friday as well, and sometimes on Saturday. And yeah, man, between us and Purz, I think you guys would be pretty covered with knowledge to build stuff constantly and always have new things to build.
Hello, everybody. We are back. It is creative
Oh,
exploration
it,
time.
it keeps that guy always. Did my wait? Did we crash? Did we crash? Purz, are you there? Oh, Purz crashed. I think Purz's. I think Purz's system just went boom. There, okay. Purz is
We're
back.
good. Yeah.
Purz is
I don't know
back.
what happened. I don't know what happened.
Comfy happened.
It was running the whole time. It just Discord kind of pooped. Had a little poop.
On Discord, yeah. That's
Yeah, man. I was letting the people know where they could find you and what you do on a weekly basis.
Oh, yeah. Nightmares.
and noodles.
Yeah. Come by the Nightmare Factory sometime.
Yeah, Chris, that's a perfect gif. You should try to train a motion Laura on that one.
Chris makes some really great motion for us too.
Which, by the way, man, I love seeing all the people in here that have all also been on the stream, and everybody comes and watches each other's streams and learns together and keeps upping their skill set. We got Mid Journeyman in here. Chris.exe is in here. He's going to be on the stream in a couple weeks. Whoa, that is cool. The sea definitely got a little wilder, but man,
Wow.
that looks awesome.
That's creepy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy your nightmares.
Yeah, indeed.
They said your stream didn't crash from overheating. It crashed from opening a portal to hell.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Is there anything behind me?
Damn. Well, man, do you guys have any questions for Purz before we kind of start to do our wrap up here? Because I feel like this man has just dropped so many gems in this one and given you guys a lot to go and play with and work with. And look, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of different variations of our beloved Civitai logo right now. But more so, I want to see you guys take this, flip it around, and start to make some really cool stuff of your own logos or of videos and just start to get like really, really crazy with it. Now that you've seen like the tame, okay, cool. We can take the Civitai, we can make it like a cool fuzzy sea, like almost like a 3D artist would, or we could, you know, smash some souls into the lines. So sky is the limit. Any last questions for Purz before we kind of get this before we kind of wrap up here, guys? Give you guys a few minutes here. Boom, 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 boom. Purz, is there anything in closing that you wanna say to the gang?
No. Nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I do this a lot. Come by, hang out. If you want to learn stuff and come by the Discord, all my old workflows are on there. Oh, they're not old, but all the stuff since before a couple weeks ago or last week are all available. They're all there. I will still be releasing asset packs for my Patreon friends and stuff like that. So yeah, the only thing I'm not dropping right now are the turnkey workflows, and yeah, it's just, and it's not because of the community. The community's amazing. It's the people that benefit from our community without giving back. So that's basically all I want to say is if you're gonna use stuff from the community, man, help the community. Do something. Help out a friend. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to tell anybody. Just help somebody. Nobody learns in a silo. Everybody learns together. And I learned all this from other people. And now I'm showing you. So show somebody else. Pay it forward. That's it. Patreon.com/Purz. Purz.xyz for all the links. Yeah, and I mostly stream on YouTube, but if people want to watch on Twitch, I'm happy to restream to Twitch. So yeah, hit me up. Let me know.
Awesome.
I only do YouTube because they save the VODs nice and easily.
Man, Purz, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us. We were having some issues at the very beginning, but we kicked it up, and I think everyone was able to get all the knowledge that they needed out of this. So, man, can't thank you enough. We're definitely going to circle back with you and have you be a mainstay on here, because I know you always got some new, wild, crazy stuff cooking up. Guys,
Awesome.
one second, let me bring myself back here. This has been the Civitai.com guest creator stream. The VOD will be available on YouTube first thing Monday morning for anyone that wants to go back and rewatch it and continue learning. In the meantime, over the weekend, please, please, please go subscribe and follow Purz on YouTube, on Twitter. And if you want to support the man, you can sign up to his Patreon. Links are all in the chat. Again, if you are a beginner and comfy is making you uncomfortable, go watch the 2 most recent videos that Purz dropped on his YouTube that are made for total beginners to learn. So, man, Purz, once again, thank you, buddy. You are a legend to me. I know you are a legend to many. So we will definitely be keeping up with you on Twitter. And guys, just a reminder, next week, Thursday and Friday, the stream will not be happening because I will be at a Comfy UI thought leadership conference with Purz and with Midjourney Man and Machine Delusions. And basically, during that conference, we're doing an art panel, and all the people on the art panel happen to be all people that have been on the guest creator stream with us. And that will be live streamed from salt.ai. So once I have a link for that, I will go ahead and drop a link in the announcement channel over on the Discord so you guys can watch that if you would like to. Purz just dropped the beginner tutorial link in the Discord chat. Let me go ahead and copy that and put it in Twitch so you guys can have direct access to it as well. That is where you should start. That link right there. Purz, thank you. Twitch, I am Tyler. This is Civitai.com. We'll be back on Monday with Ali's normal office hours. And one second, who do I have next? The next guest creator, not next Friday, because that's canceled, but the week after is Yvonne.mp4. And this man has been doing some really cool stuff with Animate Diff and Touch Designer. And I know it's going to be mind-blowing. So you don't want to miss that one. Go make some cool stuff and wrap your head around it and then make it better than us. That's what we want you to do. We want you to make it better than us. So, guys, we appreciate you all. Civitai.com. Twitch, we're out. Purz, hang around for just a second, buddy. And Twitch is